The Cheating Death Podcast is a comedy, satire, and information-providing podcast containing information, subject matter, language, and coarse material that may not be suitable for all listeners. Your discretion in this matter is advised. If you have any questions, you may email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. On today's episode of the Cheating Death Podcast, we discuss very briefly the attempted assassination of current President Donald J. Trump on the 13th of July, 2024 in Butler, Pennsylvania. We also provide you with an all-new Annihilation Announcement, a new joke of the episode, a top 5 list, and more. So, dear listener, by this time, you know what to do. Grab your coffee, put your feet up on the table, but since it is the end of the year, you may grab yourself a little bit of tequila or some cognac to join the coffee in your intestines. This is the Cheating Death Podcast, and we are grateful for your presence. So, once more, as we discuss this very, very delicate topic, put your feet up, grab a beverage, and let us tell you how to cheat death. This is your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this is your Annihilation Announcement. We look at the events of July 2024 as an isolated incident in Butler, Pennsylvania, where a crazy, insane man by the name of Thomas Matthew Crooks attempted to assassinate the sitting president of the United States of America in his own mind. For, as you see and know, Trump never lost the election in 2020, as he so boldly declared. It was stolen from him. So upon this day in Butler, Pennsylvania, when he was rallying again to once again be the strongest man in the entire United States of America, it was at this point that he was almost struck down by the hands of a man who claims to be nothing more than a man who's trying to take down authority. Although this story is more than meets the eye. This has been your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this has been your Annihilation Announcement. Willkommen, meine Freunde. Guten Morgen, guten Tage und eine gute Nacht ist deine Reisende und deine Ausländer, deine Cleric of Chaos. And for many episodes now, dear listeners, you are firmly aware that whenever we speak in the English lexicon, that we are doing our best to put on our Walter Cronkite voice or our standard American journalist voice, as our original voice and accent would be significantly different than most people would be used to hearing. Our dialect, our vision, differs from how most would conceive or consider the soul's and vessel's presence among our collective existence. We look at ourselves in a different way than we look at the media. And one of the reasons why we are stating this specifically is because when we evaluate the events that led to the 13th of July 2024 in Butler, Pennsylvania, and the attempted assassination of Donald J. Trump, we have to understand, dear listener, that there may be more information that we may not necessarily be privy to nor will ever have access to. Much like the CIA declassified documents emanating from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, it may be another 50 to 60 years before people are aware of what truly happened. Who is Thomas Matthew Crooks? Why was it that he made an attempt to shoot the president in the head? Why does Donald Trump's ear have no scarring? Why Did the Secret Service allow him to stand and raise his fist? Meanwhile, all active protocols indicate specifically that you must protect the individual and remove them from the danger as soon as possible. Of course, there are a litany of conspiracy theorists out there, like your Alex Jones, who's been a Trump supporter since day one, like your David Icke, who has been a supporter of the idea of the existence of reptilian civilization since he's had his head concussed from football too many times. You have yourself a lovely, long-gone, resilient member of the resistance in Bob Lazar, in whom tried nothing more than to just tell people exactly what was going on, only to receive nothing but crickets and distortion. The events of the 13th of July 2024 have led to nothing. The individuals responsible have not yet been publicly named outside of Thomas Matthew Crooks, and unlike the 6th of January 2021, when these people were followed, tracked, and attempted to be identified for years following the attempted insurrection, we have a position where we have nothing on this person. We have absolutely nothing on this soul. Yet, when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, they had a whole dialogue of text messages. They had a whole history behind this man. Yet, the individual in whom attempted to assassinate Trump and was taken out by Secret Service, there's no information. Outside of a very, very base lineage of his biography, his history, his face, but not much more. Another scapegoat, if you will. Another notion, another cog in the wheel of attempting to move the global industry solution forward. To make every attempt to dumb down every citizen to a point where they have no point but to surrender and to acquiesce. This is why you no longer have a Blockbuster video, and why Blockbuster is now launching a streaming service to fight with Netflix. It's why you see the days of yore, the PS2 and the PS3 and physical media on DVD, Blu-ray, VHS, Laserdisc are gone. Because the entities in whom control your life want you to own nothing and want you to be happy. They want you to question nothing and accept everything. Regardless of how you spin it, that is no way to live a life. And we as human beings owe ourselves more. The attempted assassination of Donald Trump, in this podcast's opinion, was nothing more than a publicity attempt to get him elected again. This podcast stands strong and defiant. We maintain the position that Benjamin Netanyahu, that Mr. Zelensky, Mr. Putin, Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping, all of these individuals in whom the media tries to make you out to be afraid to be, are nothing but distractions. So do as you will, do as you wish, but as long as you research what happens to a fish, you may be in good standing. The official position of the podcast is that the attempted assassination of Donald Trump was nothing more than a false flag to make you vote for him. There was no attempted assassination. There was no attempted murder. It was all a carefully crafted and constructive piece of media for you to vote for him again. And it worked. So America, take this from somebody who wants to see you succeed and wants to see you win. A man who has lived in 6 states throughout his life. The 360 million hard-working American souls who do nothing more than contribute to the American dream have earned more answers and more transparency than this. Regardless of the viewpoints of whether you are a Democrat or Republican-leaning individual, we must all unite and understand that humanity must succeed, and that is done so through unity, not division. Thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourselves and each other. Whether or not the events in Butler, Pennsylvania in July 2024 are eventually revealed to be a complete fabrication, or whether or not they are indeed truth, there are several glaring omissions that each and every single one of us in whom witnessed and analyzed the events have yet to really fully understand. And those are going to be written or destroyed over the course of time. One must ask themselves the question of, did this really happen the way it did? I must look further to really seek the truth. There is no way one can fight alone. We all must stand together and learn as a new civilization and a new species. Was the Trump attempted assassination a fabrication? The opinion of this podcast is that there is no way someone gets shot in the ear and has no scar. Thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourself and each other. At the top of today's program, we promised you another top 5 list, so because we are addressing the ever so lovely ideological scenario in which Trump faked the attempted assassination, we give you a list of our top 5 current New York foods. Coming in at number 5, we of course have the Brooklyn Bagel. Coming in at number 4, we have the Coney Island Chili Dog. Coming in at number 3, we have the beautiful, ever so effervescent and sensationally fantastic spaghettini that you can get anywhere throughout the Bronx, but tastes ever so beautiful and unique. Coming in at number 2, we have ourselves the beautiful bulbous burger that a majority of Brooklyn and Manhattan restaurateurs have perfected a unique taste that is not viewed anywhere else. And of course, coming in at number 1, ladies and gentlemen, we have the New York Pizza Slice, a systematic frame of creating pizza that many throughout the world have tried to duplicate, but they cannot recreate the true master. What is your top 5 favorite New York foods? Email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. Today's joke has been brought to you by the Cleric of Chaos. Oftentimes when we play card games like Gin Rummy, Crazy Eights, and you might even want to throw yourself some Go Fishing there for some levity, we're often faced with a set of terms, a jargon, if you will. However, I think when people play euchre, they're going to be very hesitant to be utilizing those jargon words anymore. The Cheating Death Podcast is brought to you by Nacht dem Leben, CRDVC, Chaos Arm Records, and CR Deutschland. The podcast is available on all podcasting platforms. Please follow and visit our friends, personnel, and podcast consultants at the links in the episode's description. If you'd like to support the program, you may do so in the links in the episode's description as well. If you or anyone you know is experiencing psychiatric duress, there is also helpful information at the links in the episode description, and call 1-800-273-8255 or 1-800-799-7233 or dial 988 from your mobile phone in the US or Canada. If you or anyone you know is experiencing a desire to adopt a playful puppy or a cute kitten, please remember to visit your local animal adoption rescue center. And as we say at the end of every episode, dear listeners, we understand that life is hard, but you, in your own beautiful way, must find a way to create your magic within this realm. Remember, we're pulling for you. We're all in this together.